Chelsea have no creative midfielder. They signed Enzo last season, but he's more like a deep lying midfielder, which is why they let Jorginho go to Arsenal. RRTep5, we are back again to Reggie Transfer Talk. Welcome to episode 5. Today we're going to be looking at Chelsea, the transfer deals connected with Chelsea, outgoings and incoming potential, outgoing and incomings. We're going to be looking at those transfers that have to do, that mainly focused on Chelsea, what their transfer activities have been so far in the first 2 weeks of the transfer window. Before we go ahead with that, we want to remind you one more time, subscribe if you have not done so yet, like and share this video. We promise to give you insightful and detailed dimensional insights on these transfers. I'm here alone today. You can see my regular Ugum is engaged with family, and we're not able to get a few Chelsea fans on board on this one today. So I'm home alone with you guys. Let's do this. Where is we going to start from? Yeah, this is the popular question we ask fans on this channel when it has to do with transfers. Has always been, where do you think your club needs to strengthen? Of course, naturally, everybody wants to strengthen everywhere. But realistically, where do you think Chelsea needs to strengthen? Get busy in the comment section. You know, let me know what you feel about that. Where do you think Chelsea should focus on strengthening this transfer window? Yeah, we know most of the issues is based on outgoings, but of course, the team was not strong enough to compete last season. As much as they need to sell players, it's also very important to remain competitive next season, that they must also acquire new players. So, from your point of view, what part of the team do you think that Chelsea needs to strengthen? For me, I believe Chelsea need to strengthen at the back, especially at the center of the park. Their best player in the last 2 seasons, if you have watched Chelsea very well, has remained at 8-year-old Thiago Silva. He has been immense for Chelsea. He has performed week in, week out at a very top level. With all the centre backs that are in Chelsea, they are younger and more agile. This guy has remained their best, not just best defender, but best player. So, having said that, that tells you that there is a problem in that department. And considering the fact that Koulibaly will soon complete a move to Saudi Arabian League, so that tells you that obviously it is very, very important that Chelsea strengthening the middle of the park at their back. They also have a kind of iffy situation with their goalkeeping department. Mendy came in 2 seasons ago, displaced Kepa, did very well. But all of a sudden, about a year now, he has been shaking the pitch. He had his injury issues, came back from it, and lost his place to Kepa again, who Chelsea fans have never trusted, who coaches in Chelsea have not really trusted in the past. So for him to be number 1 in Chelsea right now also, signifies the fact that there is also need to strengthen in that department. So those 2 positions for me are very, very key going forward for Chelsea. For me personally as well, the last 2-3 years, there's one position that Chelsea has refused to fix, and that has always remained a problem for Chelsea in the last 2-3 seasons, which is their attacking midfield, their creativity, that hub where strikers most of the time feed from. Chelsea have no creative midfielder. They signed Enzo last season, but he's more like a deep lying midfielder, which is why they let Jorginho go to Arsenal. So I believe Chelsea also needs to strengthen behind this number 8 position. Call it what in those days used to be number 10 position, but right now he's known as 8. Or however the Poch is going to make the team play. They need that creative hub, and big enough, they actually need, you can't even have just one player doing that. So for them to not have one at all tells you the magnitude of that, the job they need to do in that position. Having said that, I would have said that the striking position, but they haven't said what to do with Lukaku yet. Is he coming back? Is he not? If Lukaku is not coming, then Chelsea also needs to go big in the striking position. I know they signed a young man from Spanish league over the week, but he's not that experienced yet. We don't know what's going to come with it. He's coming to a new league, so you can't really bank on that is going to carry the weight of the team all through the season. So I also believe that Chelsea still needs to sign a striker, or are they going to, rely on Broja, the young man that came from came from their academy, went on loan 2 seasons ago, came back, had injury issues last season. Are they going to trust that this season is going to be mature enough to help push the team forward? So that is left to be seen as the season progresses. The second in this episode will be looking at Pochettino, as I call him Poch. This is a coach that I want to give my thought on Pochettino. He's a coach that I like so much. He did so, if you remember very well, if you cast your mind back like 5, 7, 8 years ago, when he was the chief coach, the head coach in Southampton, he did a very, very good job in Southampton, stabilized Southampton in the Premier League, brought them to the limelight, produced a lot of players like Victor Wanyama. I think Sadio Mane was there as well during the time Pochettino was leading that team. So he did a very good job. They moved to Tottenham, moved them from a position of a mediocre, mid-table team, a team that was within the frame of top 6, between position of 6 and 10 position every season, and they became a mainstay in the top 4, meaning that for so many years, over a decade or two, Tottenham never finished above Arsenal. With Pochettino, Tottenham didn't just finish above Arsenal multiple seasons, but they went all the way to the Champions League finals and narrowly missed out on winning the trophy. So that tells you the quality of the job that he did in Tottenham as well. Many say, apart from going to the PSG 2 seasons ago and won the league with them, the people call it Farmers League. PSG always going to win the league. They have, pretty much. So people don't count that as he won a trophy. People say he doesn't win. He hasn't won. But the quality of the job that he has done, considering the tools he was given, especially in Tottenham. Tottenham had a lot of young players. He progressed them, moved them to become a mainstay in EPL, competing with the big boys. Week in season out, they are making top 4. So I believe he did a great job, and I feel Chelsea got a good signing out there. But the only issue I have with Poch is it looks like he works better, he works more, he prefers to work with younger players who haven't really attained status in the game, and who still have a lot of room to improve, and allows a coach to shape them and how he wants them to play. He does well with players like that. Coming to Chelsea, I know Chelsea is on the road of letting a lot of players go. So I don't know if Poch has modified his managerial skills or himself or his approach to the game, where he can now work with experienced players. Otherwise, Chelsea has a lot of young players as well that they have signed, which is good based on the track record of Pochettino. But the team, the makeup of the team is not harmonized. So there is a lot of juggling to do with the team to arrive at who do you really want to work with. So it's really tricky. I'll be looking forward to see who he lets go, who he's going to keep, and who comes in. But the give or take, I said that Chelsea it might take them 2-3 seasons to get back to the level that they should be competing with the big boys in England. But looking at the movements that have been going on in Chelsea recently, it looks like it will not take that long, considering the fact that they have Pochettino too at the helm of affairs. So I believe that Chelsea, contrary to my opinion a few weeks ago, looks like they might be, if they get it right in this transfer window, they might be in contention for top 4 and might compete, challenging for the title maybe 2-3 years from now. Having said that, so we're moving straightly into the transfer links. Where do you want to start from, apart from Mason Mount? Yeah, last week Chelsea completed the movement or the sale of Kovacic to Man City. This guy has been a very important and reliable player in the middle of the park for Chelsea, but for some reason he was let go to Man City, and we hope that, for me as a rival, as an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't do well in City, but we know he's going to do. Pep has a track record of turning players into superstars, and he's not going to have too much pressure because you have Rodri there. The team is already, they have mainstay players in the team, especially if Bernardo Silva manages to stay in City. So he's going to have that time, just like Grealish had, to settle into the team and understand the Pep's philosophy. So we go to Mason Mount. This one has become, if not the most talked about transfer this summer behind Declan Rice. Mason Mount to Manchester United has become very huge in EPL, and now is beginning to have some offshoot implications. Manchester United this weekend sent in what they say is their third and final bid to Chelsea, a take it or leave it offer to Chelsea, which was 50 million guaranteed offer and a 5 million on add-ons. To say that Man United has already agreed personal terms with Mason Mount. So on the player side, between the player side and Manchester United, everything is sorted. It's now between the two clubs to agree for the deal, and the player is moved. Mason Mount is known to have told Chelsea, I am not signing any new contract with Chelsea. Sell me now or I'll leave for free next summer. So this doesn't put Chelsea in a very strong position in this deal at all, except they are okay to lose him for free next season. And unfortunately for Chelsea, there are no clubs out there also coming to inquire about Mason Mount. Everybody seems to have left this one for Manchester United, which puts Chelsea in a very, very weak and unfortunate situation in this deal. They're trying to get a pound of flesh from the deal as much as they can, but Manchester United looks to have taken a hard line on this one. And Chelsea immediately rejected this offer, but still, requested from Manchester United to come to the table for further negotiation on it, which Man United has not responded to. They rejected the offer, but they still remain in contact with Man United, looking like they will eventually accept the offer. But there's a leg to this. Now Chelsea has been linked strongly to Caicedo, and them not accepting the offer from Manchester United can mean Man United walking away from this deal and probably in turn going for Caicedo, which will raise the price for Caicedo, and Chelsea will run the risk of losing signing Caicedo, a player they have identified as their priority signing this summer. So it's becoming very interesting, and for me as an Arsenal fan, I like this. I like the way this transfer is, this Mason Mount issue, Mason Mount saga is panning out, because it's beginning to look like if Chelsea is not careful, they're going to lose not just the money they're supposed to make from Mason Mount, but possibility of also signing Caicedo. Because if Man United fail to sign Mason Mount, it's rumored that they are going to turn their attention to Caicedo, which makes it now more interesting. And don't forget the fact that Arsenal has not made any official statement, or any of the journalists linked to Arsenal none has said that Arsenal has pulled out or turned their eyes away from Caicedo. Remember, this is a player that Arsenal bid 75 million in January to sign, and before the transfer window opened, I can't remember who that journalist is now, said that Arsenal had a budget of 150 million for Caicedo and Declan Rice. So which means they might still be eyeing to sign Caicedo. So Chelsea needs to be careful in this Mason Mount saga. They need to make up their mind as quickly as they can. And for me, for a player that has just 1 year left in his contract, who has told you, blankly that I am not signing a new contract, sell me now or lose me for free next summer. I don't think Chelsea should be playing this hard ball they're playing right now. I know in negotiation you try to use every opportunity that you have, every leeway you have in negotiation. But Chelsea seem to be in a weak position in this negotiation, this transaction. So they need to be very careful or risk the chance of losing the money for Mason Mount and also having a negative multiplier effect in their possible signing of their priority signing for the summer, which is Caicedo from Brighton. Then we move to Kai Havertz. The reason why this one is no longer in news, it's rumored that Kai Havertz even had his medical today in Spain. An Arsenal medical doctor, the head of the Arsenal medicals, was spotted traveling to Spain today to possibly to have Kai Havertz do his medicals. So this deal has been, pretty much concluded. What we're waiting for now is official announcement by Arsenal or Chelsea releasing the player. Yesterday, Arteta in an interview, who we know is always rigid about talking about Arsenal targets, somehow was coined into making 1 or 2 statements about Kai Havertz, which many have used to conclude the fact that the transfer has officially been completed. It's just waiting for an official announcement. So, but why I'm bringing this up is talking about Mason Mount. So Kai Havertz, this transfer has brought a lot of arguments, a lot of backlash from some Arsenal fans. While some welcome it, some seem not to understand the deal, but they're trusting Edu and Arteta to know the reason why and the value of signing Kai Havertz. But the problem now is a lot of people, Kai Havertz is good. Maybe he saw something that we're not seeing. But for Arsenal to pay as much as 50 million plus 15 million add-ons, that's a little bit iffy for some people. Me personally, I believe, I'm not going to say Kai Havertz is not worth that if he becomes a hit or a success in Arsenal. But I believe Chelsea is not in a very, very strong position when it comes to sell of players this summer. Everybody knows that Chelsea wants to sell players. For them to be able to extract 65 million from Arsenal, including add-ons in this deal, for me, means that they got a good deal. On the other side, if the Bayer Leverkusen Kai Havertz becomes what Arsenal signed this summer, of course, Arsenal as well, you can say, got very good value for their money. But it remains to be seen what Arteta plans to do with Kai Havertz. So many ways of using him have been started out there. In Leverkusen, he played more as a right winger, as a left footer, cutting inside, the position that Saka plays. Last season, we all know that Saka seemed to have to burn out maybe 5-7 games at the end of the season. So it might be that he is, brought in as an option to Bukayo Saka. Some have talked about Xhaka's position. The issue with that position is, depending on how Arteta wants to play him, Xhaka, did well in that position because of his defensive abilities. Arteta, improved his abilities going forward, his ability to arrive in the box, make assists and score goals, which he did very well this season. If Kai Havertz is going to replace Xhaka, yes, he can produce going forward, but is he going to be able to do the defensive side of that role that Xhaka does? And if he of course, obviously, we can see that he doesn't really have it. It looks like, let me not say he doesn't, it looks like he doesn't have it right now. So it's Arteta planning to play more attack-based game going forward, or in some games or what. So until the season starts, I don't think anybody is going to be able to tell us exactly the main reason why Arsenal signed Kai Havertz, except Arteta grants an interview and explains that to anybody. But right now, that transfer is not clear to anybody. Most Arsenal fans who have supported this is based on the fact that Arteta has got maybe 7 out of 10 of the transfers that he has made since he joined Arsenal right. So people are believing that, including me that is speaking, that because of that, there must be a reason, and there must be a good reason why Kai Havertz has done Arsenal at, a deal that is worth 65 million shouldn't be a deal for a backup player. That means as Arsenal has a very serious reason and role for him to play in the team. Then, the next stage we'll go to will be who are the Chelsea targets. Right now, unfortunately, as good as we know, as much as we all know that Chelsea needs to sign players, but who are the targets? Apart from Caicedo, who else is Chelsea looking to sign? On that front, the club is a little bit quiet right now. There isn't much going on in terms of incomings to Chelsea. And it looks like there is so much to be done on that front. We'll be waiting to see what Chelsea is going to do, who are they going to bring in, what decision is going to be made with Lukaku. Lukaku seems not to want to come back to Chelsea, but they need a striker, and he still has a contract with Chelsea, so he's still a Chelsea player. So as the transfer season progresses, we'll look forward to finding out exactly what Chelsea plans to do with Lukaku, what they plan to do in the striker position. The names have been thrown linked to Chelsea, but no serious stories or movements have followed up. Players like Victor Osimhen have been linked to Chelsea some weeks ago, but right now no movement have been made in that direction, especially with the fact that Napoli has slammed a very huge amount on the value. I think it's valued for 150 million euros if they are to sell. So, which I don't know if Chelsea is going to be able to do that deal right now. So, get busy on the comment section. Let me know what you feel about Chelsea going forward this season. What do you think Chelsea should do? Which areas of the pitch do you think Chelsea should focus on strengthening? On Mason Mount deal, if you were to be Top Bolly, if you were to be Pochettino, if you were to be the head of transfers in Chelsea, what will you do with Mason Mount, considering the fact that Manchester United has said, this is our last offer, take it or you leave it. You have a chance of making 50 million guaranteed right now from Mason Mount and 5 million on add-ons, or losing the player in the summer. Is Mason Mount that good for you? Is it that good to what Chelsea, having him for another one season and letting him walk away for free next season? Or should they cash in now before Man United will change their mind? Also, let me know, what do you think about the Kovacic transfer and Kai Havertz? These transfers, these sales that Chelsea have done, are they the ones you expected them to do? Do you think these two players would have helped Chelsea going forward had they stayed back, or they are leaving Chelsea to Man City and Arsenal? Do you think it represents good deal for Chelsea and the new as to create space for them to move forward in the new way? Let me know in the comment section what you feel. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Hit the like button, notification button, and share this video. And bye for now. We will see you again.